2023 is going to be one of the toughest years on record when it comes to our economy. I'm not talking about just the United States. I'm talking about the world economy. And this is going to be raw, unedited, no sound effects, no background music type of video. It's just you and me talking to each other about what we can do to, one, lower our stress, two, survive it, and number three, come out of it ahead. So here's a simple thing. The hardest thing to do in a harsh economy is to spend money. Well, you got to learn to not spend money. You have to learn to invest money. You have to invest money not just into a stock market, not into necessarily something that's going to provide you income right away, but you need to invest in yourself. Books. Guys, there's 3 things I'm going to do over the next year that is going to help me lower my stress. First of all, if you don't know what I'm doing right now, I'm actually going full-time into a fifth wheel. We're going to park a fifth wheel at my mom's property in Oregon, move out of California, so that way we can get back on track. Because if I keep beating my head against the wall, paying California tax, California gas prices, California grocery store prices, I'm going to be so far in debt, there's no way I'm going to find a way out in 2024 when the economy gets better. So you have to make those kind of decisions. The first thing I'm going to do to lower my stress about this is I'm going to read a bunch of books. So I hit the road. A lot of what I do for work and for my YouTube channel, HBRV Lifestyle, is I travel the 10 Western states and I video different travel trailers, fifth wheels. And then my regular job, I sell units, sell wholesale trailers to dealers for them to resell on the retail market. So like a factory rep, it's been my dream job to do forever. And right now it's been slow. It's been very slow because dealers are overstocked and interest rates are up. There's all kinds of reasons why. So I could drain through my savings, I could drain through my debt, my credit card debt, and through a year, or I can make this change. So I'm going to read a bunch of books while I'm on the road. I'm going to read books about real estate. I'm going to read books about investing, because that's not going to make me focus on the problems now. It's going to make me focus on the solutions that are going to occur as I work towards it. The second thing I'm really going to do, and guys, this is free, is exercise. And I'm not talking about go hit the gym and go get all ripped and buff, but like I'm going to use the gyms at the hotels. They usually have a treadmill or a bicycle and some free weights. I'm not going in there to go get cut and ripped. I'm going there because as you work out, you start working out that stress. You start working out that mental stress. You start getting your heart rate up, something healthy that walks back all the problems of the day. And the third thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stop eating junk food and eating food just because I don't feel good. Just because it tastes good, it makes me feel good. Because all that's going to do is be a temporary fix. The same thing with alcohol. Alcohol is not going to fix the problem. Now, I'm not saying don't have a cocktail to enjoy yourself. I talk about don't go and drink just because you're stressed. Don't go and smoke weed or go smoke some kind of recreational use substance just because you're stressed. These are things and problems that are created because we don't know how to handle it, because in the moment it's like, geez, grocery prices are insane right now. I mean, guys, if I showed you my credit card, my wife's credit card statement, she has a Walmart card. We use all our credit cards, get points and bonus things and miles and things like that. $1,300 in 1 month for just the basics. And the Democrats and Republicans wonder why we don't care about democracy right now. We can barely put food on the table. We have to look forward and not back. We know darn well that this economy had to correct itself. And it's going to do it in a really, really hard way. I'm not going to call it a recession. I'm not going to call it a depression. I'm going to call it what it really is, and that is a correction. It needs to be corrected to what the proper GDP, what the proper economy should be in the United States. And it's going to do the same thing for you across the world. Whether you're in Italy, whether you're in Germany, whether you're in Japan, whether you're in Taiwan, it doesn't matter. We're all going to hurt really bad because of this pandemic. It hurt the world economically. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stop reading political news. And what I mean by political news, guys, is watch this. Fox News, MSNBC, CNN, ABC, BSE, whatever you want to call them, they are propaganda media. There are bigger and easier and better ways to get your news and get what's going on in the world and what's going on in economics and what's going on in the market without listening to Sean Hannity or Anderson Cooper or any of these knuckleheads that only care about money, ratings, and political power. That's all they care about. Todd at MSNBC, Mr. Meet the Press, he only cares about getting Democrat votes. He doesn't care about you and I. He doesn't. He has a silver spoon in his mouth that he put there himself, like all of them did, but they do not have your best interest in mind. None of them do. So just think about that. If you turned off the TV, if you stopped watching CNN, if you stopped watching Fox News, how much happier and less stressed would your life be? You would stop worrying about what's going on in Washington, D.C. and focus in more on what's going on in front of you. And that's how you're going to get past this. We're not going to get past this being glued to the television, glued to the internet, glued to what's going on. We're going to get through this because we are awesome human beings that have choices in this world. Whether you live in a communist country, whether you live in a socialist country, it doesn't matter. We all have opportunities as human beings to better our lives. For some of us, like myself, it's about creating generational wealth. It's about, I want to be an influencer. I want to be that guy everybody turns to and goes, man, that dude changed my life. That dude was helpful. That man made an impression on my life and it helped me. That's who I want to be remembered as. And I want to create generational wealth where my children and my grandchildren and my grandchildren's children and so on and so forth are taken care of. Some people's happiness is, my God, I can retire at 65. I can retire at 67. I can go on a trip every year. Instead of going on a vacation and looking over my back, how much money do I have in my wallet, I don't have to worry about it. There are some people that just want to be able to garden properly. There's people whose lives would be bettered just because they learned how to create something. It isn't about money. So as human beings, we have that opportunity. We have that chance. And it's going to be challenged because it's hard. I remember 2009. Guys, I was homeless in 2009, 10, and 11, pretty much. I mean, there were times I was sleeping on football fields. There were times I was sleeping under bridges. There were times where I was sleeping in the back of a Crown Victoria in a Walmart parking lot in the middle of a place I probably shouldn't have been because of my skin color. And yet, here I am because I quit worrying. For a while, I was depressed. I couldn't get up and I had no motivation. None. Zero. I had zero motivation to do anything for a long time because I had 2 infant daughters and a wife that was completely away from me. I couldn't be near them. I had to go to work. I walked away from something I'm glad I walked away from. It was a bad situation. I walked away from a job that was a terrible situation. And God bless, I found Grant Cardone. I found somebody that could mentor me from afar on YouTube, of all places. He had books for free. I always found a way to pay the $5 shipping or the $4 shipping. And I had them sent to a church that was right around the corner from my job. And at night, I would sit there with my cell phone flashlight on, covered up by a blanket, reading his books, watching his videos. Then I'd get up at 4:30 in the morning, right as Walmart opened their doors, go buy whatever, with whatever change I had in my hand. I would go buy whatever I could afford for breakfast, whether it was an apple, an orange, carrots, didn't matter. And what ended up happening was I found a growth and a speed I could get to. And now I've started something. I got my education. If I got this education when I was 21, 22, 23, I'd be rich by now. But I didn't get this education until I was 30. I'm now 38. I'll be 39 in 2023. I finally have both my businesses going. I finally found my dream job in the RV business. And it's nothing but uphill from here, but you have to crash first. And you have to be willing to not to sacrifice. That's the word that everybody uses, is sacrifice. I want to say it's a choice to make it happen. It's a choice to pay the price now so you can pay any price in the future. That's what we're doing. We're paying the price of this creature comforted 1,100 square foot condo to going into a 40-foot fifth wheel. Because if we pay the price now, we'll be able to pay any price we want in the future. And that's the beauty of it. And the third thing is stop worrying about how much things cost. Worry about how much money you're making. Change that mindset, that little mindset. Oh, I'm paying so much for gasoline. Oh, I'm paying so much for food. Oh, I'm paying so much for this. Oh, I'm paying so much for that. Change the think. Grant Cardone says that. You got to change your think. You got to change it from how much am I spending to how do I make more money. There are so many things out there, guys. There's Uber. There's DoorDash. There's Instacart. Here's a good one, there's surveys. There's things that you can do to make review videos for certain products and you can sell them to companies. There's so many things out there to make more money. You are not stuck at your job and this is all you can make and this is as high as you're going to go. Because everybody's always looking for the grass is greener when the grass can be greener right in front of you. And this is what I'm talking about. I used to spend between 4 and 5 hours a day, every single day, watching ESPN, Netflix, Hulu. Nowadays, you got so many streamers, it's so much distraction. HBO Max, Disney Plus, you got all these distractions. Time yourself. Spend 1, maybe 2 hours a day at the most watching TV and take the other 3 or 4 hours during the day and build something for yourself. It doesn't have to be a business necessarily, but let me ask you something. If I told you today that you could spend 2 hours a day from your home and make an extra $150 a week, would that change your life? Would an extra $600 a month help you and your family during 2023? Answer that for me in the comments section down below. If it would, email me. I'll send you all kinds of links to different things. I can't do them all because I work a 12, 13-hour job. I've got 2 YouTube channels, a TikTok, an Instagram, an e-commerce. I have no room for anything else right now. But I'll tell you one thing, the day I can get employees, the day I can hire contractors to do my thumbnails, the day I can hire someone to edit all my video for me, that's the day I'm going to get into something else. Can I do it right now? No. We build up to that. And you guys got to stop worrying about the midterm elections and the 2024 election and worried about whether Trump's going to run again. No offense, but screw Trump. I'm sorry if you're a Republican and you love Trump to death, but screw him. He's partially one of the reasons why we're in this mess. Biden just finished it off. You guys can't make decisions in your life based on who the President of the United States is. You can't base things off what people say. You have to base things on what the reality is. And the reality is this. We have choices. And our choices affect our lives. And our families' lives. And those that are closest to us. I'm just thankful for my wife. She's so supportive. That she's going to walk this journey with me. Because she knows if we pay the price now, we'll be able to pay any price in the future. I hope you enjoyed this unedited, raw version. And you should check out the next video if you want to see some more information.